Do you guys want to be a better Master Yi player? I decided to look at some of the VODs of one of my friends who used to be high elo, but now he struggles in lower elo. And here he is, Vinoshi. Hello.
Hi.
What rank are you right now?
Currently in Gold 1.
Okay, so he's a Gold 1 player. And what rank did you used to be in the past?
Well, before in EU West, I was D1.
So why do you think that you are performing worse now?
I'm performing worse because I just generally don't care as much.
And why do you not care about your games as much?
I mean, I guess over the years, like, you get this feeling of
Boredom of the
just
game.
getting boredom. Yeah, boredom, yeah.
So what we're going to try to do here is if you want to be a better player in general, you want to be a better Yi player, it doesn't matter. You have to take the game a bit more seriously and try to find a way to enjoy it. So we're going to try to help Vinoshi do this, and that should also help you guys do this. Let's get into this here, and let's talk a little bit about the start. So we'll get into the game here really, really soon, but we have to look at the preparation for the game. So there's matchups, but like matchups are just really complicated. It takes a lot of learning. So let's look at like what your individual performance is and how you're performing in a game without worrying about the matchups. Right? So
Right.
I'm assuming this is your ward. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd put down a ward and you swap the trinket, which is good. But and there's another ward here. So why did you actually this is Nasus's ward. You don't even know what ward you put.
No,
This
my
is your
ward
ward.
is in River.
And where in here? Oh wow, there's a lot of wards going on in here. This is gold, huh? Okay. So you put the ward in River. So what is the value of this ward?
I just wanted to see, just in case, if people are like trying to invade, or if a Momo is trying to do a cheese gank in mid or something like that.
Do you do you put this ward here a lot or no?
Yes, like it depends on what side I'm starting. I usually put it on the side that I'm starting. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm afraid of
Do you
invade.
ever feel like you get value out of this ward?
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes.
So like you'll see people within the next 40 seconds walk by this ward here.
Potentially.
Potentially. So like the problem I have with this ward, and it's something I do as well, is I'll put a ward here or over here, and I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just explaining how this situation pans out, right? So when you have a ward over here or over here, the chances that somebody's going to walk across it are very low. The idea is that you want to prevent like somebody from invading you or something like that, right? Or to have information when they're going somewhere else. But like there's like not much value out of this, I feel, in most games, right? Like every once in a while somebody might walk across it, but like imagine if you were like standing in this bush here, right? And like what's a typical problem that'll lose you a game? Like why do you think you usually lose games?
I mean, a lot of the time for me, it's autopilot.
Okay, but like like you're autopiloting, but what's winning the game for the enemy? Like there's got to be something that's winning the game. Like why do you feel like you're losing games when like, you know, despite the autopilot?
Mistakes. I would say like personal mistakes.
Okay, man, he's much deeper than most people I've ever talked to. So my idea, what I was trying to like get out of you there is like when an enemy gets really fed, right? Like somebody gets really fed, and then you feel like you feel like you can't come back, right? So like for example, if a Mumu gets like really fed, it's not a big deal. But like, what if you're jungling against like a Silas, right?
Yeah, true.
And then he can snowball bot lane as well, right? So like if bot lane gets snowballed or whatever, then you just lose, right? Jinx gets really fed, and we'll probably end up predicting what happens as this game plays out. So I personally, I like to sit here and put down a ward at 55 and then back, because what this ward will do is this ward has tons of value, right? Because think about it, like if there's all the foot traffic that goes through here early, you could have an enemy jungler come through here, right? And if your bot lane, which it's NASA support, I'm sorry for your loss here, like if your enemy comes through here, right, you're going to see them and your lanes are going to be able to back off. So I think that's a lot of value there. What do you think about that?
You're right. I think you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, you can maybe like try a ward like that and see if you get value out of it. Instead of like, because I doubt this ward's going to do anything. I haven't seen this game, but I doubt this ward's going to do anything, right? So you're starting off on the red here. You got a leash. As Master Yi, you can often go leashless because of the way that your abilities work. But like, it's not a big deal, right? Like if you're more familiar with leashes. Okay, so what are you thinking about the lane state right now? Like how the game's going? So you're doing your Krugs. What are you thinking? What is your objective?
So I was looking at the map and I was thinking to myself, maybe I could have cheese ganked top lane if I went for Raptors and then for Krugs instead. At that point, that's what I was thinking.
Okay.
Because the GP looks like he's gonna push in because he's putting down his barrels, and then that's what I was thinking. Maybe I should have.
Yeah, that's a good observation. But so like if we go ahead and hide the fog of war here, do you like know that Amumu started blue? Like,
I assumed because their bot lane was there fast, and the top lane was delayed a little bit. So
I don't think top lane leashed for him, did he? No, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah, so he did leash for him, and he didn't spend any mana for it. Yeah, so yeah, that's a good assumption that a Mumu maybe started here in this side. Mumu is kind of a slow-paced jungler, so like he's a little bit easier to deal with than something that's fast-paced like Silas. But I think it's a good call to like want to cheese this, but you don't have to go like from here to cheese. You can literally go from your Krugs right here and go cheese that lane, right? Because the game plank's kind of weak early, especially. Like, a lot of junglers can be this way. If you're against something, like, super aggressive, like Rengar, he hits level 2, and then you try to gank it, you could both die, right? Like, I've done that a lot. But, like, with game plank, you can easily do your Krugs and then go gank this if you think that's something you want to do, right? Like, honestly, like, if you look at this, do you think you could gank this right now if you went straight after Krugs?
Well, something else that I was thinking was I don't want to fight a Mumu because he has Ignite, and I probably would lose that.
Okay, so you mean in a 2v2 or in a 1v1?
No, in a 1v1.
Okay, so the good news about Yi is he beats pretty much every jungler early. I know, it's crazy, right? He's supposed to be a late game champ. So,
yeah.
like, even with Ignite, like, a Mumu is, like, this is a dream matchup. Like, you want to play into a Mumu. So, basically, every jungler like this, you want to try to fight them if you can. Especially, if this dude does not have Flash, you want to go in on this, right? Like, I don't think I've ever seen a jungler without Flash. They do special things in gold, dude. So, yeah, you do want to fight this. Like, you don't have to fear the Amumu Ignite. Like, you don't have to fear any jungler with Ignite because Flash gives more power than that. Because, like, if they can't get away, right? Like, you can decide who starts a fight with Flash. Okay, so you're doing this here. And you have a situation here. And, like, you don't ever have to stop your camps to go do something, typically. Looks like you want to pat down the Yone here. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're thinking on ganking the Yone here?
So, like, I was thinking, like, as soon as he goes in onto Victor, I'm gonna go in. That's what I was thinking.
So, what about, like, if we, like, look over here? So, there's so many lane states that you have to, like, keep in mind, right? League of Legends is a very complicated game. What about, like, I find ganking mid to be very difficult. Especially, like, you have Victor, who doesn't have that great of CC, right? So, what if you, like, consider, like, looking at top lane here? Again, right? You were thinking about top lane now as you look back in the VOD, and that's a beauty of, like, hindsight as you kind of get different ideas. But Gangplank especially is going to be trying to shove this lane, and he's kind of a volatile champion as well. But he's, like, low, and he's going to be shoving, right? Like, you see this right here? Like, if you were here, you could gank it. He has no ward, right? So, like, instead of ganking mid, like, I feel like mid is just not a great lane to gank. But, I mean, we'll see as it plays out. Like, he seems very hard. I mean, it's a Yone. If he doesn't use his dash in, right, it's hard to kill him, et cetera, right? You kind of see what I'm saying there?
Well, yeah, so you see, like, for me, my thinking was, if I pad towards stop now, it's going to take so long for me to get to my blue side. And I'm going to waste a lot of time. So, like, I wanted to just keep on patting towards that blue and towards that bot side jungle.
Yeah, that's a really good point, right? That you're gonna waste time here, but like, you know, the Gangplank probably did not ward here, right? Like, you saw him come up through here, right? I don't think there's any moment where he could have warded, but like, obviously, you're not always watching a minimap, so you can't always be sure he didn't ward, right? But he, you know, he's a champion with relatively little way to get out, right? He's very squishy. He's like, to me, Gangplank's like a dream champ to gank, right? Because he has no escape, he's pretty squishy, and he's going to shove the lane. So, like, if you imagine, like, if you look at this game from this current state, and you went to top side here, do you think that would be a kill?
Potentially, yes.
A potential kill. You don't feel confident about this kill?
I mean, it's still GP, you know.
I mean, like, he's like 3 autos and an alpha away from death here, and plus you have meditate reset. I think like, again, that comes down with you need more Yi experience as well if you want to do well. I think if you run Yi up here, this kill's guaranteed. Like, you will 100% get this kill. Like,
so I gotta say, like, a part of the reason why I'm not confident in my Yi play here is because I'm not running Hail of Blades and Duskblade.
Also, you were a Duskblade player before.
Yeah.
Okay.
I pretty much only play Duskblade.
Okay, yeah, so lethal tempo is really powerful. That's what makes you so good early, because you can stack that thing really easy. And even on Gangplank, you get a lot of stacks going. So, like, right here, and again, this takes some Yi experience, Gangplank is 100% a kill for you. Like, there's no, like, ifs, ands, or buts about this. If you went top here, you got a kill. So, like, those are things that you'll recognize over time, and I recommend that you experiment a bit, especially when you're in low elo. Especially, like, in a gold game, it's like 1,000% a kill, right? But even in high elo, this would still be a kill. And the thing is like, when you get this kill, or at least, you know, even if it's, like, not 100%, it's, like, super certain, at the very minimum, you're going to get some stuff for your shin, and yeah, you're not going to be able to get over here, but because you've cleared your entire top side, you can back and then push through here, right? So you'll be able to pick up a long sword and a pink ward. And the pink ward will give you... Do you buy pink wards?
No, not this game.
Okay, yeah.
Usually when I'm AD carry or support or top lane.
Okay, yeah, you play a lot of different things, not just jungle. Okay, so yeah, like, just look at this gameplay here, just like chilling, right? Like, I'm just sitting here staring at him because I just want to make sure he was a kill, right? He's so a kill, right? Okay, so you go for this mid gank here. And as you can kind of see, he just kind of walks away from you, right? And now, okay, do you know why this is bad?
Yeah, because I'm going in there without vision.
yeah, you are, yeah. In hindsight, it's very easy to see, but these are the things that you have to recognize in the game. What's going to happen here? I already know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I'm going to get messed up by a Mumu.
Yes, you are. And do you see why, like, mid lane is such a hard gank? And especially, your laner can't follow up with that because he's obsessed with his camps. And this will happen the entire game. Like, it just, every elo is like this, right? So, like, do you see why this is a bad play here?
Yeah.
And, like, imagine if you went up here, right? Like, this is, like, to me, this was really, really obvious that this would be a good play, right? Because of my many matchups over time. So that's something that you'll just kind of learn. Like, a G especially, he's not like Elise. It's really hard to gank a mid lane like this. So, like, Mumu's going to come up on you. This is so bad. This is so bad. Okay, so you got the alpha, and you died. And on top of that, the game plan got the kill as well.
Yeah.
Right? So like, this is a game where, like, a lot of people would say, like, top diff, like, eventually, right? Like, this game plan is going to get freaking loaded, and then he's just going to, like, he's going to blow through you guys, and it's, like, top diff. But, like, you could have made the difference right here. Like, you done two bad things. You let the game plank survive and get a kill here and put pressure on this. You know he was going to push because that's what he's doing. And then you walk into the fog of war and you do this, right? Do you see how your decision making is making the game bad?
Yeah, so my thinking at the time was like, oh, I can fight this Yone because he's weaker than me because I have lethal tempo.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Then I was like, oh yeah, Mumu is still a thing.
Yeah, and that's also another thing is when a Mumu, at this certain point here, you need to be pinging back top lane as well because you don't know where a Mumu is, but, like, you know there's a chance he's up here in the top lane, so you need to back ping him, right? So he doesn't get ganked by a Mumu, but then he just got slowly killed anyway, and top diff, but, like, this is on you, right? Sadly, like, if you want to truly climb, right, it's on you. But if, like, you're okay with, like, autopiloting and, you know, sure, yeah, you can blame top. He did lose 1v1, you're right. You could have done something about it if you changed your decision making, but the only way you change that decision making is if you get rid of the autopilot, right?
Yeah. That's true.
Okay, so you die here, and Victor dies there. Amazing. Okay, so now what do you do? Now you have to go where?
Bot side.
Okay, so yeah, so you see now you know exactly where you need to go, right? So you can use this kind of information in the future when you're playing games to determine where the enemy jungler is, right? So if I'm a Mumu here, I would be pinging your blue buff when you're at your blue buff. I'd be pinging your rat. Like, we know where you're at now, right?
Yeah.
So in the future, this can be used for you instead of against you, right? You can tell where people are going to be and what they're doing. Okay, so your lane states are all messed up. And bot lane does not look very gankable here. I mean, maybe. It just depends on, like, how the wave is going. But that's, like, more advanced stuff, right? Like, how the waves crash and all that. But, like, when we're just looking at your pure gameplay and low elo, the things that you, like... People need to see where they're the ones making a mistake instead of their teammates, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're looking at. We're not looking at the specifics here. So bot lane's doing really well. And so, like, you have not communicated with your team at all. Like, you pinged the Mumu's Ignite, but, like, who cares, right? Like, it's not Flash, right? So, like, nobody cares about the Flash or the Ignite. So, like, where's a Mumu at right now? Like, obviously you can see, right? I should probably hide the Fog of War. So where's a Mumu? And the only logical place he could be.
Yeah, bot side.
Yeah, you know he started top. You know he's going bot side. So what are you going to do about that?
Well, I was thinking, I have to clear my jungle, right? So.
Oh, so you kind of you forgot there's an enemy jungler.
Well, no, but I didn't want to fall behind in levels.
Okay, right, but like, what can you do about this enemy jungler?
Ping him.
Yeah. Give some pings, right? Like, put a ping, like, right here in the lane. Ping, right? Because otherwise, the Mumu is going to wrap around and he's going to gank this lane, right? And
Yeah.
and yeah, that's how that goes. So like if we reveal him here, he's probably on his way over, right? Like you know he's coming, right?
Yeah.
You 100% know he's coming. You can stop this, right? With the good ping, but you have no ping. Like honestly, he's terrible. He should have went up through here and he should have just killed your bot. Like your bot lane's free right here, right? Like there's no ward. That's free.
Yeah.
That's 100% free. Like if there's a ward here, he's spotted. So I don't know why he's not coming around, but yeah, it's gold, right? Okay, so he goes for the gank as expected and he missed. But if he was a better player, your bot lane would be dead because of you. Again, do you see why that's your fault?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, like you seeing a trend where there's already so many situations you could have made this game better than it was, right?
Yep.
Okay, so now you're getting the crab, which is fine because now you're denying a Mumu crab. Still no communication. You're not even communicating that you're going for the Yone gank here, right? Like there's no ping, no communications. You're really lacking in communication.
Yeah, I guess I assumed that he would see when I'm there.
Yeah, you can't assume that because when people are hyper focused on something, like when I hyper focus on a gank, I forget the enemy jungler exists. When you hyper focus on chasing Yone, you forget the jungler exists.
Yeah.
Right? He's hyper focusing on the CS. He does not know you exist right now. Especially in
fair
gold.
enough.
He does not know. You need to ping this. Okay, so he goes in here, he slaps it down. Like even if at this time he realizes you exist. Did you auto a minion? Okay, we're not gonna
I'm not sure if I have or not.
Okay, so that was good. Okay, now what's gonna happen here? What do you need to do?
Bat towards the other crab.
Okay, well, first of all, you should probably help him shove the wave. Right? Like he needs
I think that's what I did, yeah.
Yeah, he needs help. He needs help backing, right? So you go ahead and push this, and it also helps you out as well. You get some stuff. You can bat towards a crab, but it looks like you're going for your jungle, which honestly, I probably would have taken the crab. But you know, again, it's preference. I'm not here to tell you what I would have done. I'm just here to help you improve, right? So like you're going for this, and like now that since you didn't do the crab, do you see the problem with the crab here? Since we have this vision here on the Mumu,
Yeah, we're gonna have like a.
you're gonna have to contest it from Mumu. But like again, a Mumu is not a problem in a 1v1, but you're sitting on 30% health, right? And have you bought any items yet? You have a long sword or a dagger, I mean. Beautiful. So at this point, I mean, you still beat a Mumu, right? A Mumu has more ping cords in his inventory than you probably bought in the last week, by the way. So like, yeah, I think if you have full HP, you beat a Mumu, right? And again, that's a Yi matchup thing you'll learn over time. But like, he has game plank prio here. So now we have this problem where game plank is actually kind of a problem. Like you're probably gonna, I can already tell you're gonna think this game plank gank is a good idea. What do you think? You thinking about it?
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Okay, so we're gonna go for this. And why do you think it might not be a good idea?
I'm too low.
Yeah,
And he's got a kill and ignite up.
yeah, and
He's Arshen cannot CC him.
okay, where's the
properly.
Mumu at?
Well, at that point in the game, to be fair, I lost track of him. So
Okay, but like he just got done ganking bot, right?
yeah.
And you went through mid. Where's he gonna go after
Yeah.
he's done ganking bot?
So like, there's two options, right? He clears his top side and he's too low and he has to back, or he's gonna be top side.
Well, no, he's gonna like after he does this gank because he had no items, right? When you fought him, you could do these things by clicking on him, right? See, this is where you can slightly improve. You can tell that he's gonna back, right? So you know a Mumu is gonna run towards top, right? Because that's where he started his jungle and his jungle's clearing, right? So in this case, you should be aware of Mumu. So what's probably gonna happen? You're probably gonna go up for a gank here, and Mumu's gonna come and counter gank it, and then maybe you'll get a kill, and then you both die or something. Right? That'd be my guess.
yeah,
Right?
that's about it.
Okay, so we're gonna see you walk up here. Like honest, oh, you kind of went the wrong way though.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. That's I mean, I don't need to tell you about that one. So he dies. You're gonna face check at a Mumu here, again. Where's a Mumu? What in the world? Where did he go? Okay, so you know, honestly, that works out, but I think like as you get higher elo, or if you were against a better jungler, like a more aggressive jungler,
Yeah,
I don't think that
would've
would
been-
I don't think that would fly. Like a Mumu would totally face check you here. Like 100%. Like my feeling there is that a Mumu is gonna come kill you. Now you're also giving kills a game plank, and he's very volatile, and he's gonna probably win the game here. Okay, what's your choices now? What are you doing?
Either pad bot and then clear up to top for the red buff to spawn. Or I mean, I think that's the only option.
So yeah, you can clear through here. So it actually looks like you're clearing most because you want to path the bot, right?
Yeah.
Which is, that's fine. I think doing something like that, the path bot's really good. But you still have this problem here. So like a Mumu's down here. So at this point, you should realize that Mumu's going to back, right? Like, he's low, and he's probably going to go topside. There's a ward here. Do you have a sweeper? Have you used your sweeper yet? It looks like you have. Okay. So here's a mistake for you. Okay, what is your mistake? What did you do wrong here?
Since they're backing out, maybe I should have gone for dragons.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Bro, you even have a pink in the dragon. That's your pink. Bro, you have Shin, you have all 5 here. Like, look how much pressure you have going on here, right? So, like, they're going to back off. Jinx is trying to shove into the tower. Also, another alternative is, like, sure, okay, maybe you can't gank that, but you could also, like, put some pressure on it because they're trying to crash it into the tower, right? Because you know what? Because you play AD, right? So you want to crash it in so you can go back and buy. If you put pressure, they can't do that, right? So so they're trying here.
So for me, like, so usually like my ban is in every game it's Lulu. I think you know that. The thing is, like, during pick ban, I was, I don't know, trying to set up stream or something, and I didn't ban. So I don't like ganking a Lulu because of the polymorph.
Okay.
Also, I was thinking maybe when I'm level 6 I can do it, so that's why I pathed towards my Gromp to get level 6.
Well, you see how much value you have here? Like, you know she's going to crash that wave. You're an 80 carry player. She has to crash it, right? So, like, what's going to happen? She's going to crash wave, she's going to back, and she's going to go by, right? Because she's sitting on, like, just a pickaxe. She probably wants to, how much gold she got? Looks like she has 600. I don't know, but she wants to go back and buy, and she's low too. So you could either do dragon, especially since you have Shinna right there, right? You do dragon, and it's free, right? It's a free dragon. Though, I mean, Earth Dragon's kind of hard. And you know what Mumu backed? Mumu is here. He backed because he was low, and he's going towards top, right? Like, dude, this dragon's so free, right? And then alternatively, instead of dragon, you could try to force them off of crashing because you know they're going to crash, right? So, like, if you sweep that, if you have a sweeper, or, you know, you, like, come around and you can go around and you can go for this, right? It just depends on how they go. I would have done dragon. It's just a more obvious safe play here. And it looks like you... okay, you just swept a pink pit, and I like it. Okay. So, not bad. I mean, you got a little bit of vision over here. So, this is a good dragon. Your team's coming to help you, and that's a good dragon. I probably would have done a little bit earlier, but it works out. You had level 6 when you did it, right? So, it's a little bit more safe for you, right? Now, you know... Okay, I've never sat in that bush before, bro. What are you waiting for here?
Yone was in the bush, and that's why I wanted to, like... not let him see me, and then he saw me anyway.
Okay. So, like, at this point, you need to be thinking about what? What side of the map? Because you just finished bot. Yeah, you need to go to your red buff, right? If you're against an aggressive jungler, they're going to invade you, right? Yeah. And they're probably looking at contesting this because I just saw you do dragon, right? So when you run across mid lane here, you're telling Amumu, hey, I know you're kind of messing around over here. I'm not going to let you get this, right? But, you know, you're in gold, so, you know, he might just walk up and do it anyway. Right? So, like, you need to be checking that, right? Okay. Just in case he does it, right? I don't know. Is he trying to, like, what is going on here? Did you see it? Like, did you actually see him doing it? Let's see if you saw him doing it.
Yeah, I was pinging my team to help.
Oh, okay, that's good. But it looks like you were actually going for Yone, not for the Rift Herald here, right? Because you're kind of pivoting around the corner here. So you're actually more interested in Yone here. Okay, now Yone comes up. And so now you have this problem. You're going to have to let this go because now Shin, right?
Yeah.
So this you let go. You don't mess with this anymore. You're going to try to steal it, aren't you? Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, you see how that's bad, right? Like, he can't help you. He can't help you.
I definitely did not expect the GP to be walking behind me.
Yeah, well, you can see that he's, like, pushed all the way to the tower, right?
Yeah, but I expected him to path towards the river, towards the Herald, and maybe, like, zone from there on out, but he walked behind me, so...
Yeah,
that was my mistake.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like, you didn't have to do this anyway. You should have realized that you should go out. Like, you go up here, you check it, you check out the situation, you know that you can't do it, and then, you know, you let it go. Like, it's okay to let things go, right? Because the difference is you just die and then you kind of throw the game behind, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, like, now, like, Amumu's running around here, and he pings. You're going to ping it a little bit or something like that? No pings? Okay, so, oh, there we go. Oh, that's it there, ping.
Because my Victor's backing anyway.
Okay. So we know Amumu's pushing through here. Let's pass forward it a bit. I mean, pings are just always great in general. They're free, right? So Mumu's going towards bot, maybe ping it a little bit. Right? Okay, look at your bot lane. Look what they're trying to do here. Look what they're trying to do. Right? They're looking at this dive. And Amumu's doing the right thing. He's saying, hey, the bot lane's probably going to get dived. You need to back ping this. Do you back ping it?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Here he comes. Here he comes. Here's the Gangplank ulti. Here's the Amumu. There's a free kill for them. Right? Because they're not watching mid. They're not watching it. Right? They don't know what's going on. They're focused on their wave. That's all on you. You got to ping that. So, like, do you see how already your influence on the game has literally lost every lane?
Yeah.
Like, you lost top by not ganking it. You lost mid by walking into the Mumu and getting you both killed. You lost bot by not pinging and helping them with these ganks. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
Right? Like, this game was, like, really winnable if you just do some of those things, right? And we'll just watch a tiny bit more and then call it quits because, like, at that point, it's kind of a macro thing. Or, you know, it's every game's different. So now you're trying to invade a Mumu here. When you, like... You know, I don't think it's a terrible play to try and invade Mumu, you know, because, like, he's bot side. But, like, you still have so many camps in your jungle. Counter jungling's really hard to do. You don't have vision of Gangplank. I mean, I wouldn't predict that Gangplank's going to, like, face check you here. But, like, the camps could be gone as well, which it looks like one is.
I think I spotted a Mumu somewhere. I think that's why I went for that.
Yeah, he was bot side killing your bot team that you didn't ping.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, see, right here. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, since he's bot, let me see if his scams are up.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's already kind of on his way here. So, like, the problem with this is that, like, if it's warded, you're dead, right?
Yeah.
Right. So, like, in this case, it wasn't warded, but it could have easily been warded. And Amumu was probably back on his way there anyway. I don't know. He's in the zone. He's in the zone. Okay, so, like, at that point, you're dead. Okay, Shin goes in for some reason. But, like, I don't think you've actually been a beneficial force to a single lane this game. Right? Like, you're just kind of doing your own thing in the jungle. You're kind of, like, wandering around like you're clueless, right? And I think that if you have purpose on what you're doing, it'll make the game much better for you. All right, let's at least get you to a kill, right? And then we'll call it quits here. Okay,
right.
So here you go. You're in bot lane. You're trying to sneak up this way. I am 99% sure you have no idea where Amumu is right now. He just showed himself right here, right? And now you're kind of praying, right? Like, now you're kind of praying. So here it comes. Yone's coming down. You guys probably have no idea Yone's coming down. Nope.
Yeah, no,
but
we
Victor's pinging Mia, right? And you're going to die here. Okay, Mumu just ulted that guy. But you got a kill, right? I mean, it's not the worst fight that you could have had here, right? Because you have a Shin. Did you know you had a Shin when you went out on this? Or are you just like, oh my god, I have a Shin?
No, I know I have a Shin.
Oh, okay. I mean, you know, sometimes it's okay to be like, oh my god, I have a Shin. I'm so lucky. Right? You know what I mean? Like, so, like, without a Shin, that would have been terrible, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It did end up working out a little bit, but, you know. And then at this point, like, if you survived, you would go do Dragon, right?
Yeah.
But, like, actually, it might be still worth a Dragon anyway, because they all died, and Amumu has to back, right? Amumu's probably going to back, and then you could go do Dragon. So, honestly, you should have been on your way bot. Right, like you're going towards top to try and, I don't know, like Gameplay's gonna crash us. Honestly, Shin will hold that. You need to go get Dragon. I'm assuming it's spawning soon, before, like, you know, the situation, because you're not gonna be able to hold any of these dragons late game, right? Like, you're just gonna keep, because you're so far behind. So if you get these dragons now, you don't have to worry about them later, right? Because they're gonna go for soul points and stuff like that, right?
True.
And like right now, farming in general is very weak compared to just like spam ganking. So, yeah.
Maybe,
so.
Yeah, I've noticed like I'm falling behind level a lot when I jungle.
Yeah, you'll fall behind a lot in gold if you just AFK farm. You have to make ganks to have purpose that you're intending to do. You have to intend to gank on those, right? So that's like the Shin. Like, you could have ganked that. You could have ganked for Shin at any time. You could have ganked on the red. You could have ganked on this. You had 3 different camps you could have ganked him on, right? And then at that point, like, you know, you move on. And I think a lot of that, you know, you had to get comfortable with your character as well. Right, so you're not exactly sure what you can win or lose, right? So maybe like stick. I think jungle honestly is just probably the best role for you right now to like get a feel for how the game is again, like it used to be, right? And find purpose in every game. Like, go to your first death in every single game, right? Like right here, where you died here, right? And you died here. Why did you die?
Because I face checked without vision.
Yeah, and you
And I
should have
wasn't
known.
paying attention to the enemy jungler.
And you should have known Amumu was there. Yeah.
Yep,
So
yep,
then that right there, that's a point of improvement. That could have changed the entire game.
True.
Right. So what did you learn?
I learned to he has a winning potential against every single matchup in the early game
Yep.
by being a late game champion.
Yeah.
I've learned I've learned that farming the jungle is not as good as it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta look for ganks.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned not to face check and keep track more of my.
You can face check if you know where he's at.
Yeah. I mean, okay, and I've learned to ping more.
Yeah, you definitely got to ping more, right?
And ping everything.
And look within yourself for all the bad things that happen, right? Like you can literally look at this game and see how you negatively influenced every single lane in this game.
Yeah,
right?
you're right.
And you could have positively influenced every lane with just one different decision, right? Like you could have positively influenced that. You could have like just not face check that and feed a free kill to Yone, right? Just kept farming. Like it's okay to just farm, right? But like it's better than dying. Like this just hurts your gameplay right there.
Yeah,
right?
I think I still have that old school mindset of like
the old
you have to
farming.
farm a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't do that. You gank and you try to set your lanes up and you dive. That's what you do.
All right.
Yep. So yeah, it was a pleasure looking over this. I hope you use it to like improve yourself. I highly recommend just like look at your first death in every VOD. That like if you lose the game, look at your first death, right? And say, how could I have fixed this? Because this right here, this will take you into another game. You'll be like, okay, I'm not gonna face check the enemy jungler. I don't know where he's at, right? And you don't always have to know where the enemy jungler is. If there's any threat at all, like if your bot lane can get ganked, backping them, right? You need ping more. You need ping more with more intention because they don't know. They're not watching. They're like you. Whenever you're face checking this, you're zoning in on Yone. You don't know where Amumu is. Like imagine if your bot lane backpinged you here. Right?
Yeah, true.
Right? Like you would be like, oh, right, Amumu, right? Or like, why are they backpinging me, right?
Yeah.
It'll give you value, right? The pings function. Like a lot of people think, oh, they should just know. Like how you mentioned, they should just know. Victor should just know I'm coming up here for this gank, right? But like he's zoned in on the CS, especially in this Ela. He's zoned in. He doesn't know any better.
You're right.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully you take this as some kind of motivation to just like slowly improve a little bit, right? Because when you look at the game from a perspective of improvement instead of like, God, I hate League of Legends, I hate these teammates. Like if you just look at like, especially if you're like streaming or whatever and you're doing it anyway, right? It's like you might as well, like when you're in queue, you should just look at that first death and say, man, how could I have improved this, right? Like, oh, my ward doesn't seem to be doing anything. How can I improve that? Like, and you don't have to do a lot, just one thing at a time, right? Like first death, don't face check. Boom. You're done with that VOD. That's all you got to do. Like 1 minute. 1 minute. How did I die? Don't face check that much. And those little things, they add up because like next game that you play Yi, I bet that you'll probably ping a little bit more. You won't ping all the time, but you'll ping a little bit more. You might ping a little bit more. And then maybe you'll think twice before face checking this bush, right? Like I'll do dragons. Like for example, one of the things I was really bad at is I would do dragons when I had like right now I would do a dragon, right? If it was up and I don't have prio, right? Like it's a coin flip. Like the enemy bot lane could come up and check this and I'm screwed. Like if we're fighting, right? But nowadays, I don't do those dragons anymore. I'll kill bot lane, and then I'll do dragon. I'll say, hey, bot, we're going to fight for dragon control, and boom, I get a dragon, and I get it for free. Like, when you had that moment where you should have done Earth Dragon, which you eventually did, it's a free dragon for you, right? Like, it's very obviously yours. That's how every dragon should be. And for me, I would coin flip dragons. I would try to sneak them. I'd get mad at stream snipers. I'd be like, I hate these ghosters and stream snipers. They're finding me in dragons. It's really hurting my gameplay. But my gameplay should have never been like that. That's just coin flip. Right.
Yeah,
and going back into VOD and reviewing that, like it's a big point of self-improvement. So hopefully this helps you out. And I would be very interested in hearing how you do that. And if you want to share anything with me in the future about that as well.
All right. Let's do that.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, wonderful.
Thank you,
hey, you're welcome. Like keep improving and hopefully the viewers learn something from this as well, especially gold players or silvers.
Let's get it going. Good luck, boys.